This is how I start my day. I usually do some time with my planner so that I know what my plans are for the day, and then get something to drink so that I'm not thirsty while I work. And then I put things together that I'm going to work on. Hello, I'm Wendy and this is Summer Bay Studio. Today I'm going to be working on the glue book project that I started and adding some pages to it. So I've got a few here. I made these ones to go together, but then I'm left with the back. So I'm going to work on the back of the page, and I'm going to be using magazine pages for a base and then taking some of the gloss off and adding some special things to it. So to start with, I've pulled out some pages from an English gardening magazine. They have such beautiful photos. And I thought I love how this is like a whole picture with an easy to cover up little bit of text there. This is so pretty. And even you could leave this. Another one that's just gorgeous and lots of room to add to it. Another one on this side, unfortunately, because you can't, I guess you could use both. I guess you could use both sides. It's not a bad idea. And then this one, which is the one I'm going to use today. So that's just a tip for you. Look for English decorating or English garden magazines, and I think you'll find some really gorgeous stuff. Now, I can't say anything about printed in America magazines because I don't usually buy them. My husband bought me this one because I love English things and European things, so that's just a tip for you. So my glue book is 8 by 8, and I just have to cut it. I'll keep to the C and disguise some of the other pieces. I just need to figure out where to cut this. That's about right. And then, let me see, I need to cut off only less than 1/4 of an inch off the top. And these can always be trimmed up again afterwards. So my first step is, I think I will glue it down first, and then I'm going to go over it with a matte medium to take off some of the gloss of it. And I'm using this art glitter glue because nothing else seems to do as good a job. I might be wrong. Maybe white glue does, or clear glue. But this one does a good job, so I'm going to stick with it for now. And just go over it like this. Now what will happen is, of course, wherever there's something damp, the paper buckles. And you can see it already curling on the sides. However, when I put the matte medium on, it's going to stretch and then it's going to shrink. So that's really not that big a deal. Just try and get this pretty close to even. It's not actually. Come over just a little bit. Now you can probably see the lines where the glue is, because that's, like I said, the wet part that expands when it's wet. However, we're not done yet. And I'm going to just put this paper underneath here so that paint and matte medium doesn't go on everything. Now, I'll be honest with you, I have never done this before, and if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I like to experiment, and I do it on camera just so you'll know that you can do the same thing. Just try things. Have courage. Doesn't matter if it's perfect or not, but you learn something every time. I've got some matte medium here. I'm just going to pour it in this little dish. And I've got this brush, which is a bit wonky because I don't even know where it came from, but I've just dampened it a little bit. It actually feels like it has glue in it or something. And then I took the water out. So I'm going over this just kind of liberally. And the goal here is just to take the shine off the paper. Now, magazine paper is quite thin. I don't have any idea how it's going to turn out, but I did a little bit of research, which is a great way to learn things, and discovered that you could just use matte medium to take the shine off of glossy paper. And sometimes you want glossy paper, but in this case I don't. So we'll just see how it turns out and how the paper responds, how if it's already buckling, I can see that, but it tends to, as it dries, then shrink down again. I'm going to leave this to dry right now and then we'll move on. Alright, well, here's the result of using the matte medium. The paper, the buckling of the paper did go down, however the matte medium stays kind of sticky, which you can actually use matte medium as a glue for paper and things like that, but I don't like this sticky surface. And I would also like to sort of make the picture a little more muted. So what I've decided to do is use some white gesso over it, just so I can kind of camouflage it a little bit. And I tried a couple of things on a piece of scrap here that I cut off. This is the white gesso, which dries to a nice chalky matte feel. It's not sticky at all. And then I also tried varnish, and it's nice and smooth, but it's also glossy. So depending how this all turns out, I might varnish over it, but we'll see. In the meantime, I'm going to use this funny brush because I don't want brush strokes, so I want to just go like this, and I'm using my gesso again, and I'm just going to dampen this and then get started on it. So I've just dipped it in water and taken it out again, and then squeezed the water out with a rag. And I'm going to just try this. See, I'm getting a real circular motion thing going on here. I'm not sure I like that, but I think I can fix that. I want to go right out to these edges so that it takes off some of that glossy and sticky feel to it. Now I'm going to take a sponge, which I've dampened, and just put some random kind of strokes. I think I put too much dampness in there, because it came over quite wet in this corner. But if I do it like this, then it's just kind of random brush strokes. Gives it maybe a little painterly look. But you can still see the boats and everything. And I'm going to make sure we cover this part up. And then I'll let this dry, which should only take a couple of minutes. My gesso is dry now, and I really like the effect actually, and I like that you can kind of see the boats and everything. So I had the idea, instead of just gluing some things, I picked out a few little odds and ends here, but I thought I might do some painting as well. And so I just got out some of my acrylic paints, and I'm just going to put little bits on there. I've got a dark green, a nice brilliant green. And I'm just popping them on here, and then a fluorescent green, which should make things interesting. What I want to do is just kind of follow the shadows here, and I've just dampened my brush. I'm using this round brush, which is a really cheapy one, and it's actually kind of falling apart, but I'm going to just take some of this and just dab some in to the darker areas here and see if I like it. That's the nice thing about this kind of project. It's like you try something, you discover what works, what doesn't. Like I discovered that I don't know if this is true for all matte medium, but the matte medium that I have didn't do a very great job because it's basically not very matte. So I have this writing in here too that I want to kind of get rid of, but I will get to that. This green is actually kind of a Verdian green, which is just a paint name, and therefore it's kind of a bluey green, but I'm fine with that. So because I put gesso on here, it makes it a lot easier for the paint to really stick. This is fun. It's kind of nice. I like the contrasts. It's pretty actually. Now I'll just put a few little dabs of this fluorescent green. It's a lot less opaque. As you can see, you can actually see through it quite well. I also would like to have a yellow green, just painting over this bird here, which I might end up covering up anyway with something else. That's a nice effect. I like it. I also have this iridescent green, which is a paler yellow green. So I'm not cleaning my brush out, I'm just going to give it a wipe and then pick some of this up and use it for highlight. Oh yeah, I like that. So when I say mixed media, or when anyone does, it can be anything, I guess. I like to combine media. Media is the plural for medium. I like to combine things that can combine or that don't normally go together. So in this case, a magazine page and acrylic paint and gesso. So yeah, they aren't normally used together. I really like this one. I like this effect with the iridescent paint. Trick is, don't overdo it. But what a nice effect. I really like that. And I think I'll do these little water lilies as well. A few leaves. There. I think that'll be all for now, but I'm not sure. So I'm just gonna clean up my brush and then and just leave this for now. So this will have to dry before I can do anything else if I do something that's not paint related. And like I said, I pulled out a few things like this heron and this travel thing. I'm not really sure how I will use it because it's a little bit on the big side, but I also have some kind of beach and travel things like this, and because it's to the sea, they kind of work, but I will address that as soon as this is dry. Alright, my paint is dry now, except for, yeah, that's even dry. So I thought what I would do is just, this is a glue book page, so just glue some things on, and I pulled out a few things that I think will work, but I'm kind of making it up as I go along. I like the heron because herons do hang out by the sea. They seem to be almost everywhere, and just such a gorgeous bird. And this is an illustration too from a bird book. So I'm going to use it. I can move away this paint now because I don't think I'm going to paint anymore, but I might. We'll see. Let me see. Do I want to put an edge on him? Distress his edges? I don't think so. I think we'll just leave him nice and sharp. And again, I'm using the art glitter glue because I think it'll probably work the best. I love glue sticks, but I haven't really had great luck with them. So I'm just going to get them all in these little feathers. And I actually cut this out by hand. I had a bird book. And just while I was watching TV in the evening, it's a very relaxing thing to do, actually. And for weeks, I cut out pictures while I watched TV. So I'm going to just put him right here. And again, I've mentioned this before, but if you're wondering what on earth is a glue book, it's like a scrapbook, only you just glue things into it, which is kind of, you know, the original kind of scrapbook is for gluing scraps in and things that mean something to you or that appeal to you or whatever. And the purpose is just, it's just sort of self-entertainment. And I think that's a good enough reason. And I've got this little tiny map because it's to the sea, to the sea. This has a bay on it. It's actually a British cardigan. That must be Scotland. And I'm going to distress it with this blue, which is faded jeans blue from Ranger. And no, it's not sponsored or anything. I just bought it myself. But I want to stay with sort of the sea look, even though this isn't the sea and you can't really see the blue very much anymore. But I want it to be about traveling and traveling to the sea. So I'm going to just put this up over here, which I think is a good spot for it. And again, glue kind of squirts out along the sides. But that does mean that the sides will be glued down very well. So now I want to cover up this. There's a little piece of a map of England here, plus his feet got cut off, which is how they were in the book that I used. So I'm going to use this little piece here, which says memories and has a few little sort of oceany looking things on it. If this video seems a little disjointed to you, it does to me too, because I have to stop and do some things, and you know, you come back later and it's like, okay, where was I now, you know? So maybe it doesn't seem that way to you, but it does a bit to me. There we go, that's nice. Now I have this little piece. It says, in every twinkling crystal lives a memory of the sea, and I want to put it maybe here. And I want to also cover up Essex, so I'll find something that will work for that. But I would like this to be not just bright white, so I'm going to just smush it like this. And see how it turns out. I haven't done this before either, so there's a first time for everything. And I like new things, I like starting new things, so why not? However, I have to admit that sometimes when you start new things, they don't work out like you hope or like you think they will, because that's just the nature of it. But as with the matte medium, the great thing is you learn something. Blue fingers? I don't think so. There. Now all I need is something to cover that up, and I have a bunch of these little punch out deals. And I want just something really tiny. I think this will probably work. Yep, that works. So I'll cover that up. So the purpose of a project like this is simply enjoyment. Do you enjoy it? Then why not do it? That doesn't apply to everything, of course, but we're talking about a glue book here. Now I want something in here. I wish I still had this. I do not like that. I think that color is a bit drab. Let's see about this one. I think this looks nice because it's similar in color. It sort of picks up the color of the boats. This one is nice too, but I think I like that one, but I'm not 100% decided. So let me just show you what I've got here. I bought this kit years ago. It's called Beachcomber Paper Collage Kit by Sarah Lugg, who is English. I've had it for just years, and you know, I like to pick up things that appeal to me when they appeal to me, so that's why I have it. That would just be too big and take over. I don't think there's enough color in those. Now I do have this, which I was thinking of using. The clouds and the moon. It is broad daylight, so I mean the picture is in daylight, but I still kind of like the color combinations. And then there's this one, which is from a cookbook, and just some sheets of paper and some sentiments, but I think they're too tiny. Paper, postcard, beach. Just keeping these papers aside because I might want to use them. Now I also have these borders. It's a bit hard to tell what would work, but I think this one is nice. Right along the top. I'm going to cut it out and see what it turns out like. Alright, let's see what this looks like. Take the moon out of here. Actually, I don't love it. Don't love it. Let's see what this blue one would look like. I think that might work better. Let's try that one. So it's summertime, and the weather here has been beautiful so far. Except for the heat wave we had, which was pretty intense. But it's just been lovely weather. Lots of times we have rainy, chilly summers, and I'm so glad that we don't this year. Now, before I cut off the rest of this, I'm going to see if I like that. Yeah, I do like that. It goes nicely with the blue. And is it long enough? It is. I can cut it. Make sure. Measure twice, cut once. Anyway, we just had a lovely week here with my daughter and her husband and their children for the holiday camp. It's the 4th or 5th annual holiday camp, we call it, where they come out and stay with us, and we all just play. So I actually took time off because I worked ahead, did all my videos ahead of time, and now I'm catching up. So alright, that's going to go there, and I kind of think I need something to pick up that blue now, down somewhere else, like right there maybe. I think that might work. This one, for some reason, wasn't cut very well, so we'll trim off this white. And this doesn't need distressing because it's so dark on the sides anyway, but I will do this one and just see how it looks. Might not make any difference at all. Oh, a little bit. I'd like to know what kind of things that you like to do. Are you into glue books? Are you into junk journals? Are you into mixed media painting? What kind of things would you like to see more of? I'm trying to sort of plan out my projects for the next little while, and so that I don't have to get up on filming morning and going, what am I going to do today? Which, you know, I usually have an idea, but I'd like to have a schedule so that I'm a little more efficient, and I love efficiency. I would like to know what kind of things that you would like to see. So please, if you've made it this far in the video, I'd love it if you'd leave a comment and just say, you know, do you like the direction I've gone? Do you like, which of my video projects do you like best? Because I've done some acrylic painting, I've done watercolor painting, I've been doing junk journals, altered books, several things. So I would like to know which one is the most popular. I mean, my analytics on my videos will obviously tell me some of that, but they are a little fickle, because sometimes it's just a matter of I don't know what, the algorithms, or what's going on in the world, or something hits a nerve and it takes off. So it's a bit hard to tell just from that, but I would love to hear from you. Now, I like this. I like this. I think it needs a star or a shell or something. So let's see. Let's see if there's anything in here. Oh, look at this broken glass. I like that. Okay, let's see what these look like. Yeah, we still have that print to cover up. That works. Gets a bit lost, but it's okay. This is like sea glass, like it gets washed up on shore from old shipwrecks. It's ceramic from China. Let's put this just like that. Cover up as much of that as possible. If I put that there and this on top of it, I think that's a nice touch actually. So let's do that. Now, as I mentioned, I think I mentioned that you can use matte medium as glue as well. So I could have just used that and swiped it on, but it's a little bit messier to use when it's in the form that I have it in, which is, it's of course a liquid in a bottle. I have to decant that and put it in something else. Okay, let's see how we fare with this. I don't think that'll run into the rings, these rings that go to hold the book together. See, this one's already been cut. I should have left it, but I demonstrated it. And now when you turn a page, there will be a page on the back, which I think is just super fun. And let's see, do I want more words in here? Memories, discover. The traveler is wiser than he who has never left his own doorstep. Thank you, Margaret Mead. I agree with you. I do like this. So let's just have a look. I suppose I can always pop it back on here. I like it. Let's just go for it. It shows up well enough. I like that. Yeah. Now, one other thing I can do is I've got these glossy accents. It says, great for stamping and scrapbooking, dries to hard, clear, glossy finish. Fine tip for precise application. And I used some over here, so they look like little drops of water, which I think would be really appropriate here. I'm just thinking where to put them. I think I'll put one down here. And one here. And how about one here? One in the water. Oops, got a bubble. And that gives just a little glossy, sort of eye-catching button there. So I didn't use the clouds or this, so it'll show up for some other project. But I like the page. I like how it's turned out. I'm glad that I put the gesso on the magazine, but you certainly don't have to. And I think the paint is kind of fun as well. That is definitely mixed media, and I hope you like it. I sure do. And I hope you will subscribe to my channel and click the little bell so you can be notified when I have another video, which they come out Monday and Thursday now. And I've got something new every time. And I'll see you next time.